Hi, my name is John from Inline Tube. Today we're going to talk about the basic tools you need for Quarter Midget Racing. Today we're going to talk about some of the tools you need for Quarter Midget Racing. Here is our crash cart that we're going to take a quick tour around. Right here we have all the parts that go on the front end of the car so that if the car becomes in a wreck, we can pull it into pits, grab what we need real quick and switch it out. Over here we have tape, paper towels. Up here are all our main tools. And then right here we have our crash cart. If we need to get the car off the track real fast, we slide that under the car. Now we're going to the back side. We have more tools. And then in the bottom we have our spare tires, tire jack, everything we need to get this car back on the track. Now we're going to take a few minutes and talk about some tools. As you can see on our cart, we have a variety of tools. Most of the car, the chassis, is all standard wrenches. Anything that's on the engines is metric. So these are our metric, these are our standard. We decided to color code everything so that when we're in a hurry, we don't have to look at the size of the wrench. We always know that green's 1/2 inch, red is 7/16, yellow is 3/8, and blue is 9/16. Our sockets are labeled that way, and on the drills, they're labeled that way. We also have these ratcheting drills because we can do things in a hurry. And these bits always stay on this drill because this is the most common. 90% of the bolts on the car are gonna be 1/2 inch, so you need this 1/2 inch. And then there's some wheel studs and other bolts that are 7/16, so those are already set up. And then we have our spare one on the side here in case we need to grab one of these sockets. We also have our ratchets here. We have our Allen wrenches here. We have our screwdrivers here, picks, and here, these are handy too. These are Allen wrenches right on the socket, so you can put them onto here and quickly remove stuff from the car. Other things on here are tape measures, our T-handle Allen wrenches, wire brushes for the wheel studs, files in case we need to file out something to get it to fit. Every tool on this cart you're going to use. Snap ring pliers, little nips for the tie straps and zip ties, and then we have our tape measures. And here, this is a neat tool. This is for pumping air into your shocks if you figure out one of the shocks is low. We even put spare parts on here. Here's a shock in case the car gets in a wreck and the shock gets taken off the car. We have a spare one on the cart. We have our hammer. We have our tire pressure gauge. And down at this end, we have this bin here with every kind of nut and bolt. So if anything breaks on the car, we have spares on the cart. The goal is to finish a race. If you don't finish the race, you don't get the points. We also have drill bits on here. This is a box of drill bits. And it's amazing how much you can do in a hurry when you get called into the pits. With a cart like this, you can fix anything. You're nice and organized. You can grab your stuff real fast. And on the back of the car, we have our bender bars. You can take these, you can put it on a radius rod or something that's bent and crank it back and try and bend it back into position. These come in real handy. And then we also have on the back side, this is a tire jack. So when you set the car up, you can slip it in here so it's off the ground so you can work on the car. So again, these are all the tools you need. You can put spare parts on here, chains, gears, and we have a bag of zip ties. It's amazing what you can fix with tape and zip ties just to finish the race. So I hope you like our tool cart and hope this information was helpful. The other helpful thing to have on your tool cart is to have all your panhard bars, your radius rods, anything that can be bent. These are all measured to length and they're snapped in here. We can cut the zip tie, pop it out. With 1/2 inch bolts, we can replace this rod in seconds. We also have the steering rods. Every single rod that can be bent is on this cart. We also have an axle here, although it's pretty hard to fix an axle that's bent in the pits, but we have it on here just so everything's in one area. They're all labeled what they are, they're all labeled on the cart what they are, and they're ready to snap off, snap in place, and get that car back on the racetrack. This cart is ever evolving. We still have some open area over here. We got our paper towels, we got our tape, we have spare parts in the tray, we have lug nuts, shock parts, every kind of bolt for the car, we have wheel studs, we have spacers, anything that can come off this car to make it get back on the racetrack, we have put in this cart so that we can get it out on the track fast. There's a razor blade, some rags, tape measures again. Here's a Brillo pad because you may get something that's stuck, and this should do just about every job, but you'll still end up in the pits and you won't have a tool or you won't have something to get that car on the track. But the more prepared you are, the better chance you have getting that car back on the track.
Hope you like our tools video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment.